Guilty Gear Rev 2 is the greatest fighting game of all time. It's a fact, and I'm here to prove it. First of all, anime. It's anime. Second of all, Elphelt. Really, I could just end the video right here. But of course, I won't. So let's move on. This guy's name is Saul Bad Guy. Yeah, that's probably the greatest name anyone's ever had. Ever. This dude fights with a flagpole. And he's hungry. Just look at that frame-perfect pork chop chewing. It's beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, did I mention Elphelt? Yeah, she's proof that a loving god exists. No doubt. But moving on, this girl's called Ramlethal. She's sexy as hell, covered in sticky birthing fluids, and has 2 giant floating swords. In other words, yeah, sexy as hell. Oh, and this guy's basically a fucking legend. His name's Kai Kisuke. He's a king, nobody fucks with him, and he's got a fine-ass housewife, courtesy of the backyard. In fact, while we're on the subject, let's just quickly touch on the whole backyard itself. On the surface, it's a book, but inside, it's a whole alternate dimension full of code and data responsible for the upkeep of literally everything in the world. Really, the backyard is kind of like a computer in some ways, in which case, reality itself is the program being run on it. And, I mean, like, if you don't think that's the tightest shit, get the fuck out of my face. Seriously, though. I mean, this game is so cool. Alright, but what's next? Well, next is Slayer. He's basically God with a hot wife. She doesn't really do much, just sort of cheers him on, I guess, and gets eaten by him all the time. But it's cool, because she's immortal. And not to mention Elphelt again, but she is objectively perfect in every way. I'm just saying, not quite sure why we haven't all just canceled our dreams and dedicated our lives to building statues in her honor yet. But any day now, I'm sure. Any day now. But let's speed things up a bit, shall we? There's just too much all-time greatness here. We've got to pick up the pace, like... Alright, this guy is the president, and his name is Chip Z'Nuff. She's really sexy. And she's also really sexy and badass. You know, now that I think about it, my whole argument here is kind of degenerating into just the girls are sexy, isn't it? But you know, fuck it, really. I'm not stopping now. This girl wears super tight pants. Her name is Jack O, and she's super sexy too. Creepy in all the right ways. I can masturbate just by looking at Ramlethal's expression as she gets 4 fingers shoved up her ass. And, as you can clearly see by this girl's extremely tight pants, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 is obviously the best fighting game ever. Of course, you already knew that, though. It's obvious. After all, Elphelt and her great character development are in it. Plus, we've got Johnny here, the coolest looking pedophile you've ever seen in your damn life, I guarantee it. This cute little girl from his pirate harem wants his dick with every fiber of her being, and this woman is 8 years old. 8 years old, she's 8. She's also married and has a son. Yeah. Dizzy, that's her name. She is this guy's wife, Kai's wife. We mentioned her before. And yes, you heard that right. Basically, this man Kai is such a god that he bagged a dime when she was only 3 years old, and it wasn't even pedophilia. Never one to, pull out, shall we say, when it's time to go to work. Kai promptly married her, and they had a child together. As for their son, well, we already talked about him. Sin Kisuke. formerly known in this video as Hungry Flagpole Guy. It's true, despite the insane time paradox you would think this should create, he is in fact their son. What can I say? Netflix and chill knows no age. Good stuff. Alrighty, did you get all that? Basically, Rev 2 is the greatest fighting game ever because of anime honeys, apparently. And, because some shit is weird, I guess. Oh, and one last thing before we wrap up here. Have I mentioned Elfel? Thanks so much for watching, guys, putting up with my bullshit. If you enjoyed our time together today, do me a favor and consider that subscribe button long and hard. Also, go ahead, comments are open. You can tell me all about how much you disagree with me. I really look forward to it. Catch you next time.